All right, gentlemen, welcome to the channel. Women too. Yeah, we're going to be talking about, how men are attacked in America. We're going to be talking about that. I'm going to be bringing up some things as well too, as far as policies and stuff like that. Yesterday, I kind of did a brief one about passport, and this ties into yesterday's discussion and things. So we're gonna go ahead and go right through it to it and things. So I know, I know right now has no one joined the channel yet, but I had a few people that joined, and that's cool. You know, this is about cancel culture, how more so about how men. We're talking about masculine men. Masculinity is under attack like never before. Where this culture that morphed pretty much from the left, the Dems, the libs that have morphed this thing though, because it's about separation. Feminism was the first wave, three-wave feminism. Now we have this type of attack on male masculinity, men being men, and things like that. Talking to women is under attack. Women can get back in their safe spot and say that they're not feeling comfortable. I mean, it's one of those type of things, man. Just, in the workforce, and I've been in an office environment, man. You can't compliment a woman on how she looked. What I'm saying? None of that stuff. Because they have it now where you can come across as a creep. And some women get off on this thing of power. Since they can't be men, they said, well, I'm going to exercise whatever I don't feel comfortable with. They can say, yeah, I'm going to really stick it to them. I'm going to really. And you have some women that are really real man eaters. They hate men, Some women out there do. They really, really hate men. They don't like men. They hate men. And I'm seeing it more so in the Western world. They hate men. Certain groups of women hate men. You see that. Certain ones. They hate men. And we know as to why, there's a lot of reasons for this. But they really hate men. And I'm actually going to be talking about it here today. Because as men, black, white, and other, you guys got to realize that we are all under attack, whether you want to accept it or not. I was just talking with my friend last night, and I said to myself, I can understand why certain people, transgender and all that, because they benefit. They benefit with DEI. They benefit in society. Women aren't threatened by them at all. They actually have a way more an advantage than women do. Even over the LGBTQ community, they actually have a huge advantage when you think about it. They can go in and compliment women or men without any type of retribution. They don't have to worry about threat of losing their job or anything. But when a heterosexual masculine men do it, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? It's a great divide, man. It's what it is between men and women. And this is why I advocate towards men for that you need to have your passport. Another friend of mine always mentioned this, and I forgot to mention this yesterday. A friend of mine, he was talking about the patriarch system, being in a patriarch, being in a society where men, patriarch rule, and so forth. And this is very important because you notice in America, they really have been doing a great job of destroying the patriarch and replacing it with the matriarch. They did it in the black community. That's what the first wave, it happened in the so-called black community. Notice I always call it the so-called black community. It happened between 1960, 65 and 68. It was Lyndon B. Johnson, the Great Society, right? And with that, he implemented a policy plan to destroy. It was really called themselves trying to bridge the gap between blacks and whites in that particular era. This is way before I was born as well, but there's information on this. It's documented. This is factually documented, because you look at what's happening today, it usually starts in the black community. It's like what we call like a canary in a coal mine and things like that. The black community is the canary that's in the coal mine, and they don't realize that their time is limited because of the lack of oxygen, right? And eventually it kills. And that's pretty much what it did. It devastated the black community, just like America right now. So a lot of things in these think tanks, Tavistock, over there in the UK, they have these think tanks of how can we erode and destroy society. And then they have pushed an agenda. They've been, what feminism, that's another think tank program that was created originally to put a wedge between men and women. They already did it one previously with race, gender, and then create these other type of situations, right? So therefore, we always are at odds with each other on every level. But going back to the men and things like this, this is what's going on right now, man. I mean, we are in a situation right now where men are being under attack like never before. And I said it before. I don't even have to say it. As a man, you guys can feel it or not. Some women, and I say some, understand that we as men are being attacked. We're not. In America, they're shunning men masculinity. Men bad. Masculinity bad. All this other stuff. It's like, ladies, who is going to protect you? Who's going to protect you? Because there's a reason for masculinity. There's a reason that besides being a provider, there's also the protector. Having the physical strength to do it and not this cowardice type of stuff. But look what's going on in the Western world. It ain't just the United States either. It's the Western world that's running the same type of thing. Men are bad. Bad man. Bad man. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. So, I said I got time today just to talk about what has been going on and things in society right now against men. Because men, I'm going to tell you, man, you don't have to believe me. My mother always say, keep living. If you live long enough, if you don't see something is oddly wrong in society right now, and this is what is affecting marriage in America, like Western world, not just America, I'm talking about the Western world. Divorce rate is high. Look at the percentages of women leaving men in a relationship. 70% for women leaving men in a divorce relationship over frivolous, trivial BS. This is, what I'm saying? Men have civilized the world, even in the Western world. Do we get any? Look at what's going on. We get kicked down. We get kicked down, shouted down, kicked down. You know what I'm saying? This is the thing. The men have civilized and have made the world comfortable, building infrastructure, right? All the convenience of home today, providing food, clothes, shelter. This is all off the bowels and the sweat of men. This is, who wouldn't want to have a comfortable society? We have made it so good for women, so good that you have these, and then these groups, these think tanks that have created a divide wedge. And this is what's going on, man. Like I said, I know as men, you guys are feeling it. You at the job, you at the work. The guys is ditch digging, driving the, look at this, the dump truck. You're going to look up in there, it's going to be a man driving it. And I'm over here pointing out the way that how society right now is so unfair to men. It's so unfair. Look at the child support system. I shouldn't even have to go into that because many of you guys know what I'm talking about with the child support alone. You don't have, when you go to family, all this other type of stuff, this family counseling, it's automatically slant in favor of the woman if you don't know that. These are nothing more than um, things that uh, help the woman go against the men. And this is basically what it is. You got some psycho women out here. They always talk about the psycho men. You got psycho women out here. And I really think that as men, we have it more dangerous with a psycho woman because if you don't know, I mean, you got to get it. Most of us as men get into a relationship and you start, noticing some things and noticing some things. Then when she becomes psycho, nobody is going to believe. Not many. All she got to do is pretend to be a victim, and that's what. And we got women out there that are very manipulative. You know what I'm saying? Hello, how you guys doing? Welcome to the channel. Yeah, welcome to the channel. Yep, just over here talking about, how society is set up and things, and where men are under attack. Masculinity, males are under attack in America, like never before. Yep, but I see you guys though. Now, like I said, there's some good women out there that know what I'm talking about because I got friends that are women, and we talk about this stuff openly. You know what I'm saying? And things. This just putting out this disclaimer. Yeah, we're just talking about some stuff in regards to society, what is going on against men and masculinity. And I know women in general, they love a man that's masculine. That's the thing about it. Looking for a masculine man to protect them, which is nothing wrong with that. I welcome you guys to the channel, just over here talking again, just kind of running some things down and so forth. I really want that divorce rate to go down, man, because it's gone up so high right now. I really want it to go down. But I know I'm just talking about problems as to ultimately what's the leading up to divorce and things like that. It's a lot of factors. It really is, though, because if you think about it, man, it's like Father's Day is it's not as popular as Mother's Day, that's for sure. But yeah, man, it's bad. So I'm over here pointing out, as far as the discussion for how masculine men are being attacked, and I gotta put a disclaimer. It's not necessarily all men are attacked, but men that exert any type of masculinity, and women, not all, but there are some that that are against male masculinity, toxic male masculinity. That's what they call it, though. So I'm over here putting that out. The cancel culture never really was truly defined, but it's been running rampant. And it should have been some stipulations on the cancel culture, but it's morphed into anything that they don't like, they can cancel it. Baby, it's cold outside. That song was canceled. I think it was in the 60s. I'm not really that familiar with it, but I know they canceled that song. Who else? Pepe Le Pew from Looney Tunes was canceled. I grew up off of Looney Tunes, and many of y'all have too. And I am an artist, and I'm gonna draw Pepe Le Pew too. I'm gonna post it on social media. But Pepe Le Pew was canceled. There's a lot of things that were canceled. What else got that cancel culture? There's a song that was canceled. You guys, I don't know how far you go back, but it was out like in 80 or 81. What's his name? Benny Medone or something. That one song, what's that one? How'd that song go? It goes like, I'm trying to think here. Into the Night. There you go. The one that goes, she's She's just 16 years old. Leave her alone, they say. You know that one? Separated by fools who don't know what love is yet. That song. But that was canceled. Now there was a different time back in the early '80s with that type of song and that music. But I'm just giving examples of stuff that's being canceled, man. And then also, men are being canceled because you're being programmed now not to be a masculine man. You're being controlled to be more of a passive man or a weak man. And that's basically what it is. And there's no woman that I know on the planet that loves a weak man. I'm sorry. Even most feminists don't like a weak man to a degree. They don't, because they when it come down to it, y'all ladies gonna be looking for a man to protect you at some point in time. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna be looking for some type of protection from men. And if you can't get the protection from men, who's gonna protect you? You know what I'm saying? So that's our role and responsibility as a man, is to protect. Yeah, you got the police out there to do it too. But as the old saying goes, are you ladies gonna be looking for a female police officer to show up when y'all are in trouble, or do you feel more comfortable with a man showing up as a police officer? And we already know what the statistics are. None of y'all are not gonna feel that confident with a female officer, unless if she had a male with her. It's just how it is. So that's my point. So I've been bringing up stuff like this, talking to y'all, and I said, you know what? I just had this was on my mind. I was thinking about it, because to me it just doesn't make any sense how we have a society culture that's geared in shutting down men, kicking down men, and destroying men. Masculine, masculine. I got to put that disclaimer out, because not all men are masculine, and I get it. You got beta males and ones that below that. So, this is one of the things about it. It's a thing about having confidence and being a little arrogant. Most women are attracted to those traits. A man that can lead, a man that can take control. This is the thing about it, though, man. And I'm over here talking about it because the way that our society is heading, it's headed in a very big dangerous situation, and I'm expressing about it because I don't like it at all. We can't sit up in here and pretend that this situation is not going on or happening. I beg to differ. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's happening. There has been an attack on male masculinity. If they can go after a former president under the same thing, because I don't see what he has to say that's so much of a threat. And we have this thing called freedom of speech as well, and they're trying to get rid of that, and I can't allow that. That's why I'm speaking out. That's exactly why I'm speaking out against it. So, like I said, I see a lot of people got a lot of channels on the internet and stuff like that, scrolling. A lot of you guys just in here scrolling. I get it. Some people just like to be entertained, because there's two things on the internet that sells. You better be very funny is one of them, or very educational. Those are the two. Other than that, if you're not either one of those, you're not going to do well in this space, though. People want to be entertained, and people want to be educated to a degree. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about it. So I don't know where I lie. I'm just over here having conversation for whoever that's in the room or whatever, and we can talk about it. That's all I'm doing, and things. So yeah, men are under attack like never before. That's what we're talking about. That's the main topic. Being under attack. And let's go ahead and talk about it. Look at these societies. Western world right now. We are one of the first world, right? Society. I mean, all the advances of technology that man does. We don't even have a man day. I just thought about that. We don't officially have a man day. Men other than Father's Day, and that's not even celebrated. I think we should have a man day. Man day for men that's hard working, that have need to be acknowledged. And we don't even get acknowledged enough by our own women. We don't. We do not. There's more things to be celebrated for women, but very little to men and none at all. And I think that's wrong. We used to do this type of stuff, not anymore. Men are not celebrated as they should. And it's destroying our society. Patriarchy system is being destroyed. I mean, you know what I'm saying? These things are really happening. Whether you agree or disagree, it is happening, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm here to talk about it, to bring some, um, bring some awareness to this type of thing. Because without without masculine men, who do you have? Who do you have? That's the question. Who do you have? That is the thing. But I was gonna make some type of comparison between uh, in some of these Eastern societies. And no society has it perfect. Don't get me wrong. There's no society that's perfect. Which place is perfect? But I think that America is one of the best when it comes down to liberty. We still got a little bit left, and if we fight enough, we can get it back and stuff. Because this is BS, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't go in the workforce. I can't compliment a woman. I can't look at her attire. Can't talk to her. Can't ask her out. How the hell are you gonna get to know each other? Online dating doesn't work for everybody. I tried it myself. It's horrible. So what are we doing here? So my thing is simply this. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about uh, bringing this awareness once again, and talking about, because you guys, whether you male or female, y'all should be having these discussions about this, because this is serious. Look at what we are have developed as a society. We are alienating each other. Look at all this. You got more people talking about that they don't like marriage, they're happy being single, and you can't blame them. You cannot blame them, because there was a time when you got married and have children and all that. Now it's under the threat. But that's what I'm saying. They're promoting more. What's the worst word of it? It's called. It's a word for it, which means people just kind of being amongst themselves. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they just happy being amongst themselves, man. Now, when the society is starting to do that, how are we going to procreate? How are we going to exist? How are we going to be able to, because that's really what it is, man and woman. Why do we have to be so at odds with each other instead of just, coming to some type of agreement with each other? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Are men and women that much divided amongst each other? I mean, and like I said, in the so-called black community, it's worse. It's a dumpster fire over there. And I said this before. It's worse in there, because I grew up in the black community, and like I said, it wasn't all bad, but I saw the divide even there. You have the black woman that will not and do not, for the most of them, they do not trust being under male authority or any type of male leadership at all. And that's true, you know? And I grew up in there. They think that color purple exists in general, for some of them, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna do the Danny Glover thing, and that is very scary to the sisters, the black women. They are fear of that. They do not, they don't trust that at all. And you can't have a family, you can't have a society when we are fearing each other. I'm saying this: if America is gonna work, we have to put this thing on the table, and we have to say once and for all, because like I said, I already got another solution. I already got another solution, but I'm putting this up as discussion and bringing awareness to this thing, though, because if society keep going the way it's going right now, we're gonna be in for a world of hurt and a world of trouble. You know, and like I said, in my opinion, um, feminism has really take a toll of destroying our society between men and women. It didn't elevate you up; it took you away from men, and it is bringing the society down. And I can actually have proof of that because just look at the black community. That's a perfect example. Do you think it's thriving in there? You know what I'm saying? It's the remnants. It happens when there's a cause, there's an effect. The cause is to separate the men and women from each other, and then look at the effect. You got crime, violence, drugs, and all the rest of this stuff. When you take the man out the equation, and that's exactly what happened. The man was taken out of the equation in the so-called black community, which are liberal policies that have destroyed the so-called black community. When you take the man out of the community, and that's what ended up happening. Is it what, like I said, the so-called black community today, whenever policies are implemented in the country, just look at the so-called black community first. They push feminism over there. That's what divided men from women. And it works successfully well that they got the science down to it to divide men and women. And then they have implemented that throughout our society. That's why, you got to be made aware of this stuff. It's like opposing arguments. You have two opposing sides, one Democrat, one Republican. And it's like a constant battle amongst each other. One black, one white, fighting over the resources, same old stuff, without coming to a fix or a solution. This is the problem, ladies and gentlemen. This is where, if we're fighting amongst each other without, or try to come to some type of resolution or an agreement. And that's what I'm saying. Men and women in particular should automatically have come together and try to find some type of fix, some type of remedy, some type of solution. It makes no sense that we can stay at odds this long and we don't have any type of, men and women should not be at odds like this. And I find it very strange and interesting at the same time that we can never get together. And look at a lot of women today fear the fact of really truly being connected with a man. That's what it is, because society turned it upside down. Elevated the woman at the top, put the man at the bottom. You can't have a society like that. You can't. It will not work. And look where we are right now. You are losing your men, and the rise of something else is coming in. You ladies the women, y'all gonna suffer more from it, because if there's no masculine man or men to be able to pick from and choose from, because the way it's going, the rise of that's fine with them. If they want to do that, transgender, transitioning over. Listen, you really don't have a lot of leverage in this type of thing, though, too. Then you got guys that got their passports that's checking out. Then you got other guys that's what they call them mid-tile, men going their own way. So you really don't have a whole lot if you already think, because really women, there's way more y'all than it is us. You know what I'm saying? It really is. And I'm over here pointing out some things that you may not haven't thought about. And if it keeps getting escalating and getting worse like this, y'all are gonna be out of women. They already said women gonna be obsolete, man. They got all type of robots and all kind of stuff over there, androids and stuff over there, man. And I'm telling you, man, they got these little apps that these guys can download the app, and just to have a woman saying, "Hello, how are you? I miss you." They actually got these apps like this, man. Y'all being replaced. Y'all not being elevated over men no more. You're being replaced by technology. And if it doesn't get in control, and right now, you're at the early stages. But I truly believe that women will be replaced. I really do. Because society, more people today are not trying to have children. They really aren't. They're not really trying to do that because it costs money to try to have a family today. The average family though too, you gotta be making about $200,000-$350,000 today. to say that not to be totally dependent on the government. And if you make one false move, you could lose the house and everything. Gonna get a divorce, and all the rest of that stuff. And all that come with it, alimony, child support. It's a scary thing today, especially for men. And I'm trying to get y'all women to see what some men are even afraid to even talk about. We just having a discussion talking about things of what is dividing us, separating us. Men and women are separated here in America. You think that we're doing great and doing good? You got a whole MGTOW movement going on with men going their own way. You got the passport movement where the guys don't want to have nothing to do with Western women at all. Then you also have guys that are gay, guys that are transitioning, all that stuff. Y'all women don't really have a whole lot of footing. And if it keeps escalating like this, y'all will be obsolete. I'm just being honest. And I see it already. If something is not done and for you to kind of curtail and change your ways, you will be obsolete. Where your only choice may be in a gay relationship. Not saying it's a bad thing, but when it's just for having female companionship, and you're starting to see that too. All that happened in the so-called black community first. I'm telling everybody right now. Because whenever they want to push policy, it always starts in the black community. Look at it. Look at the community now, man, where you have a bunch of women, no men, no leadership at all. It's a dumpster fire. And I stand 10 toes down on that, though. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I triple down on that, because every other society, they got men and got women and stuff like that. They don't have no problems connecting with their men. Eastern women do not have no problems connecting with their men. Only in the Western world, where they have fed women all this BS about, look at it, divided you, separated you from your men. And it's like, look at you, 30, 40, 50 years old, still out here trying to find, still thinking Stella got her groove black. That's just TV. It's not like that for real. You're going to have to come to grips with this sooner or later, ladies, because you are alienating your men. And the conversations that I have, and I'm an Uber driver, I talk to men every day, all day, and we have these kind of conversations. Believe you and me, they don't feel comfortable. That's why I'd rather be out here working Uber. I do not want to be out here. I came from an IT background. I don't feel comfortable working and being around women with this modern day agenda that's going on, because y'all can come back and say anything and then I'm done. My livelihood is being threatened and things like that. That's why I got a dash camera in my car. You know what? I put a dash camera in my car. It's not for men, it's for women. I have to protect myself from women. You understand me? I'm talking about for the females. Men understand me, but I want you to understand me. I got a dash camera in my car. And that is not for men, it's for women. You know how bad it is. I had an incident that happened last week. I had some females in the car. They were young. Picked them up from the bar, taking them home. It was a 45-minute plus ride from picking them up from the bar scene, taking them all the way home. Had my music going on. I had some of the romantic music. It's the same stuff that they listen to. I might have had Travis Scott and a few others going on. Did you know that they went back and reported me to Lyft by saying that the music that I was listening to them, they felt very uneasy and very uncomfortable. It's the snowflake generation today that pisses me off to high hell, man. I was mad as a mother. I told some friends about it, and I'm over here taking these ladies home from the bar, right? 45-minute plus. Now, mind you, it was a big ticket ride because I made about $80 on there, practically. And I know they were butthurt about paying that price. And sometimes with these passengers, they look for any type of excuse to complain to these rideshare companies as to why they should not pay this amount. And I believe, seriously, that's what happened. That they look to these rideshare companies, and say, I'm not, and they look for anything to say. And that's what ended up happening. Out of the bottom of my heart, helping out people because I enjoy doing what I do. But that's why I keep a dash camera in this car. Not for men, but for women. That's what it is, because I have to protect myself. If there's an accusation that's being thrown, as a man, if you don't have protection covering your own, you know what? You are SOL. And we shouldn't have to live in a society like that. You mean it? I know there are rapists out here and there are murderers out here. I realize that. But that's why I keep a dash camera up here from false accusation from women. This is how it is. This is the society that we live in today, which is sad. It's so sad today. That's what I'm just saying, though, you know? It's very sad. So I'm over here depicting and pointing out some things in society that are going on. And that's basically what it is, though, you know? But do I think that men and women in America would ever connect back, come back together? I'm not saying they never will. I give you some optimism, though. It, some things will have to change first. And I'm just going to say this, and this may piss some people off, but I don't care because I'm not doing this for monetary funds anyway. I already got a job. But it's the woke agenda that needs to be curtailed. It needs to be removed from our society because I believe it's the biggest threat and the biggest cancer right now is woke agenda. And what I mean by woke is that they're pushing things onto people with these genders and everything and all this other stuff that just a lot of us don't agree, man. We don't agree with that, you know. You want to know where I align? I'm aligned more of a conservative values and conservative ways. And this is how my family was raised. This is how the black community was raised as well as in America before this liberal mindset came on board and destroyed our community. That's how we were raised, though. We had a mother and a father. Men went out there and worked. Sometimes women went out and worked too. But we had value systems. We were aligning ourselves with Christian, Judeo-Christian values and so forth. And that's exactly how a lot of us was raised. You know, we weren't out here running around stealing. If somebody was stealing, though, I mean, you know, when parents found out about it, it wasn't a pretty thing. You know, I mean, look at society now. You got the absence of the father for various reasons. There's a lot of reasons. It ain't just cut and dry, but there's a lot of reasons in regards to that. And and this is another thing. I'm over here talking about this stuff because as you guys are scrolling, what you gonna do? Watch the fat Indian girl shake her shaking in there? What else you got? Other foolishness stuff? They're gonna be talking about politics all the time. What else they gonna be talking about? I mean, there's really nothing really truly educational on social media anymore. It's just a bunch of garbage. It really is. That's a dumpster fire too, because you have people in there. How long or how much are you gonna talk about Diddy? I'm not talking about Diddy. If you want to hear Diddy, you can go on these other channels. I don't. That's all they do. It's all about the views. It's all about. Listen, that's why I have a job. I ain't doing this for monetary reasons, though. You know, I don't need YouTube like that. I'm happy to having being able to say what I want to say to a degree, but I have to make sure even what I say, there's some things though, you know, because they'll just strike your channel down, which I don't care anyway, because the only way you get struck down is if you're doing it for monetary purposes. But I still want to be respectful to the terms of service in regards to some things. I just can't go willy-nilly. Now, I do have another channel, which is on Rumble, where I can go all the way in like I really want to. You know, we talk about things in society about men and masculine men being attacked and like never before. And as a guy, you guys should be tuned in on this though. But I understand most of them are at work. I get it. And then, you got women that are welcome. But, like I said, we should be talking about this stuff. We should be talking about, in fact, I encourage women dialogue of the topic that I'm talking about right now. I really do. I really encourage that. This ain't a one size do for all. This ain't a dictatorship. I'm actually one of the few that would like to have conversation. in regards to how men are being very fairly untreated in America. I would really like to have that conversation with women because I know where most men's where they are lying on that. I would like to hear more women talk about that. Whether you do agree or disagree, both are welcome. Both are welcome. But yeah, so that's the thing about it. I'm just bringing and spreading awareness at the same time, and coming up with some type of solutions. And I think that the solution should be is that since the liberal side have incentivized, you know, this I'll say this in the so-called black community, they have incentivized women to leave their men for welfare. That's what happened originally, and that's what the precipice of destroying our community. They decided to go with the government as being a daddy and not side with that man. That's what ended up happening. That's why we don't have a community anymore. I'm talking about in the so-called black community, and that's why this is gonna. You look, what see, whatever happens in the black community is gonna happen elsewhere in time. That's why I say though, they pretty much decimated the so-called black community. It's a dumpster fire for relationships and all type of things. I'm one of the few that will point this out, call it out for what it really is. There's no solutions other than constantly pushing victimhood, being lack of accountability and responsibility. And when you got those things as being a precipice, you would never ever fix where the problem is quite simple and solution wise, but they have made a people, for the most part of it, not all, but most, are dependent on a system, and the system, the same system that destroyed the so-called black community, they are dependent on the same system. Isn't that something? And that's why I bring that up, because I think by me drawing a comparison with the so-called black community, that's why I call it so-called, as to what is going on today, it started there first. That's why when I see this being spread elsewhere, it's going into white communities, it's going into other communities. It's going to be a matter of time. It's already spreading in India as well too. I talked to some guys in India. They're getting their first thing of feminism, wave of feminism, and all that other stuff. And this is done deliberately. It's to draw a wedge between men and women, where women will lose the trust between men and and so forth. And that's what I truly believe. That's why the relationships are sour today. It's all about one particular gender group's happiness, F the man, all this other kind of stuff. Man, they can go out here and bash men. You got small groups of women, minority groups of women that are out here bashing men. You also have, in the so-called black community, you have, what is it, divesting group of black women that will not deal with black men whatsoever. That's another group. You know what I'm saying? They would date white and other, and thinking that they're gonna be happy and be all and tell all, where they would actually denounce their own people and move on. Nothing wrong with interracial dating. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you are divesting, that means that you are not invested in the community. You're gonna pull out of the community, remove yourself from the community, say that you are other than where you are really from and who you are, have no identity, have no resources, have nothing to deal with that particular group or race or group. And that's where that's very problematic. But it's not being called out. But I'm pushing against this as well, because there's a lot of fights out there, man. And like I said, the fights are happening to keep us divided. Ain't nobody else talking this type of stuff. This is serious stuff right now, man. Because whatever you scroll to, you want to be entertained and want to entertain alive, be my guest. But it's going to be very few of us that's kicking real knowledge and stuff. And I can go deeper on this type of stuff too. This is just surface stuff, man. But I don't want to bore a lot of people with, like, which I am boring right now, because you have people that are programmed to look at a bunch of buffoonery and foolishness today. You know, when you could be learning something and educating yourself, because this affects men, it affects women as well. Women are being affected by this as well too, because I know a lot of y'all women too. Y'all not happy out there dating. I know you're not. You're not. You can't sit up here and say you are. You are depressed. You are unhappy, and it's only gonna get worse. It's not getting better. It's getting worse. I'm over here calling the alarm now and trying to say, hey, you guys got to rethink some things. Just like with men, because like I said, there's options that men are already doing, taking themselves out the equation. Stoicism is steady being pushed, more stoicism today than ever before. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We were meant to be in a society, interacting with people. All this online social media is not real. This is not a real connection when dealing with people. It's not. It's not. This is why we do not have a healthy society, community at all, interacting with each other. My friend told me this. He said, and he got a son that got a family. His son does not even check up on his father. And he was raised with his father ever since he was like 5 years old. Had his father in the home. It's like, what is his excuse? He doesn't even check up on his father. And many of you men know what I'm talking about. He got a daughter. I got a brother that got a daughter. His daughter she won't even acknowledge nothing. Totally wrote him off. But mamas is always acknowledged. He got a son that will not acknowledge him at all. Will not check up on him. Won't see how he's doing. The mama, yes, but not the father. And it has created a society of these beta male men, and it started with the millennial generation, and it's just sad that how millennial generation of men started with them, that they have grown up because they've been around women all their life, single mama thing and all that. A lot of them didn't really have a stepfather, really, be honest. They had men that were seeing their mamas in relationships. That's what they had. That's what they had. They didn't really have, I'm talking about men and women growing up as millennials. The sisters didn't have a real father figure either. This is why they bucked any type of male masculine energy. They attack it because they're not used to that energy. I'm talking about from the sisters. You know? They do not like it at all. And even the men too. All these emotional males that are being raised today with no type of discipline, no type of father, just feminine energy, estrogen. That's all it is. This is what makes the man more dangerous than the woman, because when he gets in his emotions and he has the physical strength of a man, and this is what makes it dangerous. That's why you see men out here fighting with women, physically fighting with a woman. You know? This stuff is usually called out when a man say, if you get into a dispute with a woman, don't fight a woman. Don't jump on a woman, because you are stronger than a woman. These are the conversations that men usually tell their sons, these things that you just don't do. To me, it's common sense. But I guess it's not so common, because that old saying goes, if common sense was so common, everybody would have common sense. And it's absolutely not true. You know? But real man would just say, hey, never fight with a woman at all. Let her do her own thing. The way I see it, y'all are not married with each other. And for those that are married with each other, these things, because again, we are being divided amongst each other. And I know this is not really that much of popular conversation, because like I say, you have people out there that are tuned in on buffoonery. If you don't believe me, watch any other television shows today, and then you got BET which is Buffoon Entertainment Network, which is one of the worst uh, dumpster fires out there and never before. What I call BET. I got a name for all of them, but BET, Buffoon Entertainment Network. I don't watch Buffoon Entertainment Network at all because it's a bunch of buffoonery. You know, you're not learning nothing on there at all. These old rehash, old rerun ass TV shows that been around for like over 30 years plus. I mean, how much of a reruns of Good Times and all the rest of them you gonna watch? You know, it should be about some real stuff that's going on, coming up with some real solutions to problems. But they don't want the solutions. They want to keep pushing the problem and keep exacerbating the problem to get you mad, angry, and upset. Get you out here doing something that you shouldn't be doing. This is all the plan, my man. It's the plan. It's all about the plan. That's exactly what it is. And at some point in time, man, we're gonna have to really come to some type of we're gonna have to come to some type of agreement with each other sooner or later. You know, because like I said, men are checking out, man. They're checking out. Midtown, Passport Boys. You got other ones. They're checking out. They're not checking in, they're checking out. I'm about to drink my alkaline water. All right, there we go. Pour the rest of that in this bottle here. Yeah, I've been drinking a lot of alkaline water though too, man. It's really good stuff, man. You guys can look into that though, man. Gives you like energy and everything else, you know, all that together. But yeah, that's the thing about it though, man. So, you know, a lot of times I just don't even show myself because, you know, you got a lot of creepies out here, man. I've talked to people that run lives and all that. Yeah, it's my way to combat against creepy, stalking people, crazy people that may not agree with something that you have to say. But it's sad that we live in a society like this, but it's true, you know. But, you know, I just want to have the conversation, and we need to have the conversation between men and women. That's what I'm saying, though. And we don't really have TV shows like that. You know, we really don't. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. But, yeah, so that's the thing about it, though. I look like I'm almost about an hour into this. I just wanted to bring this up real quick to try to talk a little bit about how men are under attack on male masculinity and things like that. You got all these like what's it, employees guide book, all this other stuff, HR. You know, there was a time when men and women you really hooked up from the job, man. You know, but yeah, that's the thing though. You know, it's like another thing though too. I'm gonna say this before I go. I've been noticing, and this is with the sisters right now. I'm talking about from the black, some of the black women, when they get approached by men, we already know the stereotypical type when they get an attitude already just for showing interest of a woman at all. It's like you're doing a great injustice to them by just, how dare you talk to me, you know what I'm saying, and throw this hand up and get an attitude. Or they'll put them on blast, right? And with some of these black women, they have put men on blast just for showing an interest in them, you know. And this is another thing, though, man. I never seen this with any other ethnic women that would but I seen this with black women more so. Not all of them, but some of them, they will do this just to get a rise and get followers to say this Dusty tried to talk to me the other day and how dare him or whatever. And you know, I mean, it's a way just to be polite, just to say if you're not interested in somebody, that's cool. As men, we can take it, you know, but it shouldn't have to be. This is another reason. Some of the black women have alienated black men again, because this is another reason why black men don't even approach women, sisters, no more. They get all dialed up. Here's a conversation. I got a lot of black women that are friends, But here's the conversation. I get myself all dressed up. I go out to the bar, sports club, bar, whatever, or out to something to eat, get some wings, Buffalo Wild Wings, whatever it is, her or her girls or whatever. Did you know, girl, I did not get approached at all. And this is the conversation. But I think that not involved with alienating themselves from men, but let's face it, let's keep it real. Uh, I tell women, if you should be studying the black community, man, because I'm going somewhere with this type of stuff. If you want to be single in your 30s and 40s, if you follow what a lot of the what they have been doing, trying to be the authority advice on how to get a man, that right there is going to leave you for a world of hurt. I'm just saying, you know, because it ain't cool walking around here 40, 50 years old. I know things happen, but let's just keep it real. You do not want to be in that, you do not want to be in that arena, though, like that. So that's the thing about it, though, alienating themselves from men, especially with black women. They have alienated themselves. Not all of them, but some of them have, and I want to say a good amount of them, not some, it's even more than some. It's actually more. More of them, most of them, not all of them, most of them have alienated themselves from men with the attitude thing, for them just talking to them, just saying hello or how you doing or whatever. And no man wants to feel or be put on blast for them to put their phone out and say this Dusty or whatever tried to holler at me. Y'all think it's funny for some of y'all women that have done this type of stuff. Walk around with the phone in your back pocket with the camera on. Y'all think that stuff is funny, man. But really, this is what I'm saying about society, man. I don't think it's funny. I think it's unfair. And I really think it's just very, very low class. You're that bored when you have to make fun of someone and try to make someone look foolish and silly, and things like this. It's just really sad. And I'm gonna go in on this balloon popping thing, and I'm gonna be done. This balloon popping nonsense on social media is trash. TRASH. That balloon popping program that they got on, where they got the brothers and sisters, is trash. I couldn't even watch 5 minutes of that garbage. It's trash. It really is. It's trash. If that is what we have to look for, man, give me my passport, man. I am out. That's why I had that conversation about the passport, because you can't show me. I'm really would like to have this conversation. You give me a reason why these brothers should be having their passports, these men that should have their passports. You should be giving me some type of reason as to why not. I can give you every reason as to why they have those passports. Because we're not being respected here in America. We're being shouted down, thumbed down, talked about, so forth. It's not even worth dealing with in America anymore. We are so much divided with women, especially with black men and black women, man. Talking about a wedge. Shoot. We talking miles separated apart. I don't see no fix on that. That's why I was always encouraging the men to get your passport, because that's my thing about it. Since we can't have the conversation, and I probably won't have the conversation, we won't have this real conversation because it would get emotional on their end. I'm fine with it. If we're gonna do it, I don't have to be emotional expressing and telling my and expressing myself and getting my point across. I don't have to. But I know with dealing in the past with women, these topics are very sensitive where they will get emotional. And my friend just say you should just stop having the conversations with most women because mentally they can't handle dealing with a conversation without emotion where attitude and voice octane levels will start going up, and that's a problem. That's a problem, you know. And like I said, the number one problem is the lack of accountability and responsibility coming from most women. That's exactly what it is. That's why that's unless if that is corrected, we would never be able to get together. That's why we got to look at other solutions. Because y'all even had the great Kevin Samuels. No disrespect to him. But where a lot of the sisters and the women, mostly it was the sisters, mostly, they were shouting him down, all the stuff. Did y'all know that he was really champion for black women? He was really trying to get black women to change their ways for men, for eligible, available, marriage-minded men that had this financial wherewithal and the ability to be able to take care of a woman. That's what he was. That's really what his whole mission statement was trying to bridge that gap to try to help black women and sometimes other women with the issues when it comes down to marriage. You know, and I believe seriously, if Kevin Samuels wouldn't have died, I guarantee you he would have been talking about getting a passport. I guarantee, because Kevin Samuels was for black women. He was champion for black women, and black women did not hold him back up. They got offended. They got into their emotions and things like this, and they didn't want to hear the accountability and responsibility. Kevin Samuels was trying to give them the accountability and responsibility part, and they did not want to accept that. And tell me why today, even he's been gone for over 2 years at least, has it gotten better for women and black women? No, I think it gotten a lot worse for a lot of them because their dating options and dating pool has shrunk as well too. The guys are not checking as they used to. The guys, they get complain how men don't want to pay for this and pay for that. Drizzle, drizzle, and all this other type of stuff, right? Sprinkle, sprinkle, drizzle, drizzle. Y'all got that culture going on. Sprinkle, sprinkle, drizzle, drizzle. That's what's going on, you know? Where the guys don't even want to go out on the dates no more unless it's somebody going 50-50. Drizzle, drizzle. Y'all got that stuff going on, right? All I'm saying is it's not working in the woman's favor at all, you know? Whether you want to admit it or not, ladies, y'all need men, for sure. Feminism have lied to all of you. Y'all need men. That's 100% true. We need women for reproductive purposes and having a offspring, having lineage. But outside of that, every man don't want to have a child. Where there's a need for a woman to a particular purpose. But not all want to have it. But women, definitely there is a need for women for survival. It's absolutely a necessity for women to have a man. Absolutely. 100% absolutely. And that's why I'm giving pushback on this society stuff. And I know what they're doing. And they wage a major gap. And I'm calling it out, and I'm actually going against it. I'm fighting against it. I'm fighting against that. Instead of just sitting up in here and just taking it. We ain't even taking it no more. We're not taking it. You know? So that's the thing about it, though. A lot of men are on board with what I'm saying about this stuff. This is barbershop conversations. They talk about this stuff all the time. Maybe new for some of you guys hearing this stuff, but this is an old barbershop conversation. This is not something new that we sit up here and talk about. It's not. It's not. So, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and stop the live. I already said all what I needed to say pretty much to give you some food for thought to think and stuff like that. Because, like I said, men are checking out. That's for sure. They're checking out. You got guys, I know guys also as well making over $150,000 a year and up. They're checking out. They're not dealing with this stuff. You know? They're checking out. They don't have to. You got guys like Leonardo DiCaprio. He's 49 years old. You think this guy want to date a woman? No, you just keep trading him out, keeping it real. He can do that. He's not trying to do that stuff because if I had a conversation with Leonardo right now, he would be on board and agreeing with me, not disagreeing. He would be actually agreeing. But there's a taboo about if men don't want to have children. There's a taboo if men choose to just want to just keep dating women or whatever like that. He got the financial means to take care of a woman if he wants to, but he just having a great time. And then when they reach a certain age, he'll trade them off for something else. He's entitled to do that. These women know exactly what they get themselves into. To say that they dated Leonardo DiCaprio, right? And they're in another financial situation. Because we already know, though, I mean, the guy is 49 years old. He'll be 50 next year, right? I mean, I'm just saying in regards to it. So while they over here talking crap and stuff, those dating them, they not talking crap about it. It's the ones that can't date him are talking crap about it. And he ain't the only one. He ain't the only one. Because there's no incentive to be in a marriage, in a long-lasting marriage. People that's pushing this type of crap is crap. That stuff in America, no. We gonna end up the odds of being in a relationship is against men. It ain't for men. If women are divorcing men over a 70% rate, that is huge. And they getting divorced from all type of reasons. Shit, all these guys out here ain't trying to have no children. You only really get married for one or two reasons. One reason is if you're trying to have offsprings, a legacy, that's why you get married, right? Because we can't reproduce ourselves. We got to have a woman to do that. And that's one of the main reasons why people get married. Then you also have people that out there as well that say, I'm tired of dating. I just want to be married. Want to get in a relationship with a woman, which is nothing wrong with that. But just know the dating, or know the rules of engagement, man, because it's against you. I'm just saying, it's against you. Marriage itself is against a man. Alimony is against you. Child support is against you. It's against you. It's like going down to the gambling house trying to gamble and thinking that you're gonna win in there. The house always wins, man. You guys are just going out here and gambling. You're gonna gamble getting into a marriage today where she's just trying to come up. The average marriage don't even last 2 years. It's just, just go on and tell it for what it really is. I'm one of the few guys. This is not pessimism. I'm not a pessimist. I'm an optimist. But me being optimistic about the situation, that's what I'm saying. You have to know what you're getting yourself into. You really do. There will be no way in the world that I would marry in America. No, I would not. Because you have too many of these woke agenda stuff that's designed to attack male masculinity. And that's what the precipice of this that's the point of this whole conversation. It's about the attack of male masculinity in this country. That's what we're talking about here originally. Because guys ain't arguing against me on this situation. They're not. They're not. They're not. This ain't a big. This is not a big issue. It's a big issue for men, but they're not surprised about it. Is what I'm trying to say. Stoicism, the rise of Stoicism, is steady rising right now. Don't y'all find that very strange? We were not to be meant to be in a solitary society. It would never work that way, where everybody is an island. And men can, now as men, we can do it. Men have their own isolation. Even Superman had the Fortress of Solitude, where he can go and take a break from all the mundane stuff and all the lives that he had to save throughout the day. As a man, he was still a man, and men need their space. Men need to have their own. We're not like you women. We have to have our own solitary. So we have to have our own, man. We're not meant and designed to be around people all the time. especially men. Men gotta have their own space because if we don't, it could be a problem. We were just made to be that way. You know, that's why I'm trying to get y'all ladies. If it was outside of reproduction, men were fine. Adam did well by himself in the Garden of Eden. He didn't necessarily need Eve for that, other than reproduction. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna end this, man. I mean, I'm hitting on some really hard stuff. Some of this stuff is gonna be triggering for some of you ladies. I'm just saying, hang in there. I'm not the enemy. I'm just having real conversation, though, man. So don't get triggered. Don't get too excited. You know, but like I said, just be happy that somebody that is real is talking about this stuff for a change, instead of just telling you what you want to hear. Cause don't get me wrong though. Do you know, just by being one of these yes men, and you know they get paid. They call shields. You know, just like they have shield. People get paid to push agenda, so that you guys know this or not, and make a lot of money, telling women lies. Tell me sweet little lies. I can make a lot of money doing it easy. Saying how great you guys are and everything is gonna be all right. There's money in regards to this. There's money. Just look at Steve Harvey. He was a perfect example of this, and he ain't the only one. Men that pander to women, tell them lies all the time, just to get next to them, though. You know. And the guy that's not married, that's talking all this sweet stuff about women, you may want to check that guy. He may be in it for the wrong reason. And I find that these guys that's advocating for women, why aren't they in a successful relationship? Talking about marriage and children. Why are they single? Why are they relationships on the rocks? Why are they still running around here talking about they're still deciding? You know? You got guys like Umar Johnson, Dr. Umar Johnson. For some of you guys that don't know who he is, don't even worry about it. But he ain't married to no woman. He never been married to a woman. But they can preach and teach all this pro-black stuff and never been married to no woman. None of these guys have the model. Very few of them do. You know what I'm saying? So you can't sit up here and give me any type of relationship advice if you're not married in a successful relationship. You can't do it. And we need to start being real and having these conversations, though. You know? Now, I'm not a relationship guru myself because I'm not in a relationship. I'm single. But I'll say this, I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy on some of these people that can sit up here and give advice. Steve Harvey is another one. And look what happened with him. These people sit up here on these outlets and on the radio station. What's the other one? Straight No Chaser, Think Like a Man, all this other kind of stuff. Give all this wonderful advice to women and black women, right? And all this time at the free costs and all the rest of this stuff, I just find this stuff kind of very odd and very, you know, it's like right now, it's all out in the open now. It's so bad for him, he had to flee the country. So you got to be very careful who you listen to. But I'm going to end this live. I just wanted to point out that type of stuff. You know, I'm not up here advocating. All I'm saying is I want men to think that we are under attack, you know, and this we are under attack like never before. So you may want to start doing some things a little differently before I go. Please like, comment, and subscribe too, man. You guys should, if you like my stuff, I see one like, and I'll take one like is better than no like, and stuff like that. But if you like this type of content, let me know down in the comments. Let me know that you really feeling what I'm saying. Let me know that you really rocking with me, and things like that. That's what I need to know, whatever. But like I said, I don't need to do this. I don't have to do this. I don't need to do this. I want to just be able to get some points out to men as well as women in regards to how society and where it's going. And it's not looking good. If you want stoicism to be your ultimate goal, help, be my guest, have at it. But if you're looking for a society to come back, you want Socialism is being able to have social gatherings with each other. Then that's what I really want to advocate. That's what I really want to advocate. So I'm about to end the live. This is it. I think for some of you, see some people came on here. That's cool. I'd like to give a shout out. It said Marilyn Duncan. Thanks for saying hello. Frisky 40. I'd like to say thanks to you as well. Um, let me know that you rock with me. Give me a like or something. Tell me down in the comments, are you feeling what I got to say or not? That's what I'm saying. Hopefully, more would rock with me and let me know that you rock with me and say, hey, I like what this brother is saying. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I am out. So don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys for listening to Some Random Guy Speaks. I am your host, Tony G. I am out.